Hello all, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Rose, and today, as a continuation of last week's very special video, I'm here to complete part 2 and show everyone the final results that they have been anticipating. And I will say on that topic, I with all the love and the comments and just the sharing, just anything anyone did. Thank you so much for all of it. You have no idea how appreciative I am. I'm partially fine, I'm partially still in shock of the influx of everything, and also, gosh darn it, you all nearly made me cry at work, especially with all the comments flowing in and whatnot during my shift. And I appreciated every single one of them. Thank you. It's because when I did this, I'll be honest, a lot of what I do, much like when I did the face painting back in my own home state, a lot of it was to spread a joy that I knew that some people couldn't get, that I always wish I had, and just spreading that joy, that safety, that security, that motivation, whatever it was, just that comfort that I know not everyone has the benefit of getting in their own life. Myself being one of those people at some point in time, and to see so many people listen to my words and really feel that message I was trying to share, I'm glad you did. If it made you cry a few tears, apparently, I'm glad you were so touched. I mean everything I say with this. It's been a long time coming for me to make this video. And even for years with jobs I've done, again, the face painting, the body art, just in some cases like teaching kids in classes, like tutoring and such, programs. The thing I want to get out of it is that feeling of that I made someone's day. Even the tiniest bit, that someone felt like they were listened to. And so I'm glad that my message was clear. Sorry to repeat myself, but to emphasize that point, it's hard. When you feel lost and alone, you can't always word what you're feeling. You don't always feel understood. I know. And when you find something that clicks with you, that gives you that feeling of, yes, that's it. And I'm glad that I could be that for some people. And I know artwork is a beautiful way to do that, especially when you can put those feelings through on paper, on digital, on canvas, on a rock, on a wall, whatever your medium is. Artwork can be the most powerful, and it's either deadly or it's the most beautiful healing thing. I'm even the weird ones way with words, with something as simple as, playing a game, reviewing a product. For some people, it's just that touchstone that can be just helping them, giving them a focus, putting their feelings to words, putting their feelings to an image, or just someone to say, hey, I'm having a rough day too. Let's focus on this instead and give you some sense of serotonin today. It all helps in the long run. And I'm glad that because that's why I watch a lot of videos. I'm glad some people got that from the video. That's my main goal. Ads has always been for my artwork. A lot of my artwork, and a lot of it not on here, more on my personal page. More the my link to my actual website that I use, which is technically Facebook, but who knows at this point that turns into an actual website at some point. I I'll post some stuff there, but otherwise a lot of stuff I paint for myself, and I will put that stuff on there, Instagram included. That's where a lot of stuff's placed. I always try to put a piece of myself emotionally to some degree, whether it's an in-depth piece as I'm working through my demons, and I want to put that feeling to direct page contact, or it's just emphasizing the feeling to help get it out of my system, like a diary. That's how I've always used it, as I found that words are hard, which is why people telling me I'm good with words, thank you. I'm glad that my efforts have shown. And I've worked through a lot of that, because it's not easy for me. I'm much better on paper, and like a lot of the stuff I do is for artwork is because of that, is I need an outlet. And I'm not the only one I know who does that. I know of many people who use some sort of abstract poetry, painting, songwriting, singing, something that helps it just get that stuff out of your system, when simply saying, I don't feel good, doesn't work. Because if someone asks, well, why don't you feel good? I can't phrase it. It's too complicated. And we have those. I have to use a combination of listening to music because of some issues I have in order to kind of get emotions out because of my own demons. And artwork is the only way I can do that. And so when it comes to some of my best pieces, not all that I've shown on here, on the internet, I put my heart and soul into a very vulnerable part, just stuff there that is hidden, even for myself sometimes. It forces me to look at them the way that someone's saying it out loud helps. And so it's a very vulnerable process for me to do artwork, because yes, I do doodles. And for the most part on this channel, I've done all the ones I've posted have been doodles, with the exception of a little bit of sentimentality with this last portrait. I was driven to do it absolute justice. And I feel like, as much as, I catch myself a few times on this, I'll just say that there are some camera angle issues I accidentally do, because I bumped my camera lighting above. I had issue with, not really, there's some shading spots that I'd added a few videos towards the end to fix those, just the perfectionist stuff kicking in. But overall, I feel good about what I did. And I put the effort in that I felt it deserved, before my system just would have just kept going and be nitpicky. As in reality, emotions are messy. They don't always make sense. They're not always rational. It's how you use them. In my case, it's artwork. It's where I can truly uncensor my feelings and just put them down. And I'm not sure how much of that I would typically put on this channel, to be honest, because to some degree, you gotta save stuff for yourself. Like any content creator, if you were to use, in this case, we're talking about this, a gaming community of kanzalone, you gotta have alone games. You gotta have games you play by yourself, I'm sure. We all hike. If we were to hike other people on the channel who are also starting their own game streams, there are games you're going to play on your off time that you're not recording for yourself. Otherwise, you'd get kind of tired of it. You have to have a break, something that's yours. And it's just that balance. So sometimes the artwork may not be something I'll share directly, and maybe over time I'll become more open to sharing it with maybe select grouping, knock on wood if that happens. But I'm being realistic here. I'm doing this more for the fact that I've always wanted to share my voice like this. I've just been too scared to. And I would much rather reach a strong handful of people than hyper fixate on, oh, I want to get 1 million subscribers. Because the reality is, it's not realistic. It's a 50-50, even less than that, really, if you're going to get that far. And I would rather reach those small amounts of voices who need to see my work, just, see some satisfying completed pieces, just to relax throughout the day to some music. As my goal is partially to do that, is to just sometimes have, even when I'm having a rough day, just draw, put some music, chill. We all need some satisfying stuff to watch some days. So, and that's kind of what I hope to be. Maybe even share my thoughts in the process if people have questions. In case of this, as I've already kind of explained a lot of this process, there's really not much more I can say besides perfectionism is an absolute pain sometimes, because it feels like no matter how good something looks to you, it's not enough. And for those who may be watching who know me from my face painting and what met me through there and all the stuff I used to work with kids, I got all the compliments. I did so many events, kids parties. I was a lot in people's homes to do wall murals. I did my little comic book that I kind of did with high school, because this is when I was 14. I worked a lot of this stuff to touch so many people's hearts. I had people telling me their kids were playing Aaron and just dressing up in little wigs like I used to and face paint their friends or drawing. It's just, I was encouraging these kids. And I'll be 100% transparent. That whole time, all I could say to myself was, it's not enough. I'm not helping enough people. Because young me just couldn't, there's a hole I was trying to fill. And me making these videos now is different because I've healed, I've gone through some stuff, I put down the pencil for a good bit, I reprocessed my thoughts, did a lot of rewiring, therapy, anything to just, where am I going and what do I want to do? Is this even what I want to do? So I'm speaking at this point now as more evolved version of that wounded person who basically felt like this but couldn't say it eloquently. Because the reality was, to that younger person, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has to hear this, what you're doing, if you are putting your heart and soul, if you're putting in your effort, if you are putting your best foot forward even on tough days, if you are truly caring about the steps in the process, even on days you don't want to, you're doing enough. Even if something's crooked or off to you, it's enough. You're doing enough. And even if something's not perfect, it won't be. Nothing in life is guaranteed perfect. The only thing guaranteed in life is death and taxes. So sometimes it's better to take those little wins and those little moments where someone says, thank you. I love what you did here. And if it's really something that bothers you, take it as more of a lesson of, hey, this material doesn't work when I use X. Maybe next time I'll use more why. Take it more with as an educational point and try not to hate yourself with it because I know many who do. I'm so guilty of being so hard on myself. All you can really do is try. And if you truly want to make a difference, if you are truly trying to help people, whether it be at your job, through your channels, through your music, through your friend group, at home, there are some things you can only do, and the results may not always be pretty. They may not be what you want. And at some point, you have to stop putting in that effort if it becomes too toxic to handle, you know? Long story short, that's how I ended up here in a whole new state, starting completely over with whatever I had in savings, just from scratch. It's okay. Think of it as a piece of artwork. You're trying to paint something. Every stroke, you've worked on this for years. You think you have it perfected. You think you can get it there. Maybe if someone's ideas, we'll try this person's ideas, and then this person's. But the whole time, it can happen where you don't really like it. You look at it and you hate every bit of it except for that one bit in the corner. And it's just, you can't save it. It's just too much to like try to fix. So, what do? It's okay to scrap it. Get some gesso, repaint that on, start over. Whether it means, and that symbolically means a new job. Maybe try not dating for a while. Try other hobbies. Try mixing things up. What's something you haven't done in a long time? It's okay. I mean, you certainly have my permission. I was afraid to do what I did, and you know what? Just jumped for it. It doesn't have to be anything big like I did. It can truly be as simple as look for a new job, go back to college, get another training degree that something you've always wanted to try. Again, try that hobby you've always been afraid to try. It's okay. And I hope that as I grow and as I'm still learning a lot about myself, I maybe am at, I feel like 40% of the process. As I learn to get to know myself a bit more and can be more eloquent with what I want to say and do, I hope I can encourage a bunch of you who are possibly in the same boat to also find yourself. And there's no age limit to that, honestly. As long as you're fine and as long as you're kicking, it's a never ending process. There's nothing truly defined. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm in my 30s and I'm doing all of this. When I was younger, thinking, this is what I want, but really it was other people telling me this is what I should be wanting, I added this impression to my own brain that this is what I want. I know exactly where I'm going. I want this exact thing, no. It all fell apart. But for the better. Those blocks were false. It's not what I wanted. I can't be the only one out there that needs to hear this, but it's okay. And if you're stuck in a situation, where it's not as easy to get out of it, it's okay to try to reach hands for help and find those sources. I was fortunate to have people in my most dire need pull me out of the pit, be my touchstone, be that reminder of what I needed, and now I'm here. But I know some people out there that are not as fortunate, and I could have possibly the nicest, most reaffirming voice you've heard all day. And I really hope, if that's the case, you can find something out there. That's just look for those sources. Do it for yourself. Do it for your loved ones. Do it. It's okay. You can be okay. Even if it's, you just got fired from your job, you lost a friend. Stuff unfortunately happens to all of us. It's okay to find those touchstones. It's okay to find those beautiful moments to help reel you back in and remind yourself why you're still fighting. The key is feeling safe enough to grow, fight, and keep expanding yourself, who you want to be. And I hope that I can be a safe space, that you can be here. We can chill, we can talk about artwork, or we can just sit and listen to music and watch as I create something. Because sometimes that's really all a person needs at the bare minimum is just a touchstone of peace, serenity, just reassurance, or even just a distraction of the day. Had a rough day at work. Hey, watch one of my drawings. If you don't want to hear me talk, feel free to put some music on and just watch the process. I get it. This may not be what you need to listen to. You just want to watch something beautiful happen. I take no offense. I just want to make sure to all the ones in the back who felt ignored, who don't feel acknowledged, that I'm doing my best to see each and every one of you. And I thank you for sitting here, listen to my ramble, listen to my thank you for any of those who are part of my own healing process. Because for the last year for me, it's been hard to voice this. I've been stuck in my own head. I've just been confused about where I wanted to be, and, well, I now feel more stable enough to say, finally, thank you. Because that pit was awful, and I didn't like being in that pit. No one ever likes being in that pit. You don't really realize what your work does for people until you put yourself out there and someone tells you, hey, thank you. That's my response from Ganzabit was, which thank you, that you truly made my morning with everything. It's the little things that make someone's day, especially when you're someone who's so determined to think, oh no, nothing good's coming my way. You've just been stuck in that pit for so long. Those little bits can help. So it was an absolute honor and a joy to finish this piece. It was nice to kind of just get back into my element, relax. I zoned out that I don't recall half the time really my thoughts drawing this. I was just zoning out. The only feelings I had through a lot of it was honestly the response. There were definitely some overwhelming feelings of joy from the kindness and appreciation from not only you, but everyone who said something, subscribed, just made your presence known. And when you said that, I almost felt rared to start recording this now. Well, last week, but I didn't because I had to be realistic. I have a life. I have other stuff to get done. I have to schedule this stuff. So that way, work, social life, that kind of thing. You have to be realistic. So a lot of this has very much been held back. And it's been very difficult to speak even through this. I had to breathe a bit before recording because of how overwhelming the love and the warmth and acceptance I felt was. It's one of those moments that kind of just, if I ever felt, whenever I have that feeling of, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe this was a bad idea. Because it's not the hater aspect, and I know they're gonna happen. There are people who probably watched this and was like, this is stupid. You know, that's not bothersome. I can handle that from dealing with over 10 years of dealing with people and naysayers. What gets me are the people that are in the background holding up the I love you sign, like, thank you, beyond all that. Showing that at least this has an impact to somebody. But sometimes that one person is all it takes to make you keep going. So I'm hoping, especially after this, which I hope there'll be many more beautiful pieces to come, many more posts. I can't wait to see where this goes. Because at this point, I have no idea. My life's completely become unpredictable between all the changes I've made. I mean, I moved to a state and I did a lot of my words was over. I would never leave my state ever. It was a deal breaker. Never say never, right? Nothing makes sense sometimes. Everything can be unpredictable. You can't plan anything. And all I can hope for is that this channel takes a beautiful direction. I get some catharsis out of creating beautiful pieces for people, expanding my artistic mental muscles, and I make a lot of people's day, or at least the ones that really counts, days. And that is enough for me. Now, kind of at a bit of lack of words at this point, so all I can say is thank you so much for the kind words. Enjoy what little bit is left of this video. Thank you, Cans. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, FBK. Thank you, Velvet Glove. And to anyone else, because a lot of you, just thank you for your words. Now enjoy the rest of the video.
jacket and your shades. We're taking lead from this bleak satin. Somewhere we'll be miles away. Oh, under red sky.